computer. So this is, I think, class 33, if I'm not mistaken, of Golden Doves. We are on page 1, writing in graffiti on the bottom of the page, where he made a distinction between reading a text or looking at a text at the semiotic level and looking at a text at the semantic level.
Yes.
All right. And we read that the sense of a sentence, and this is like 5 lines from the bottom or 4 lines from the bottom, the sense of a sentence is conceived globally and then realized and divided into individual signs, which are words. So that's where we stopped last time. We read the next sentence, but then we had to stop the class. So now we'll read the next sentence semantically. Let me read first, and then I will let you read. Semantically, the value of a sign is determined by the context. So we said that every word in the sentence gives meaning to every other word in the sentence, because words exist within a context, and therefore the meaning of things is within the context of those things. Thus, whereas at the semiotic level, a sign is known conventionally. What he means to say is that the meaning of a sign, the dictionary meaning of a sign, what does the word cat mean? So the dictionary meaning of a cat is whatever it is, and it's completely conventional. Meaning, what does the word peshat mean? The word peshat means that which nit pashat, which spread out. So that which is conventional. So exactly the meaning of the word peshat. So the peshat of the word is a conventional understanding of that word. So at the semiotic level, we're talking about the peshat of words, right? And its precise value is determined through paradigmatic relation to an ideal model. Let me explain to you what it means by paradigmatic relation to an ideal model. So in a sentence, in a system of language, words, for example, you can say that the dog sat on my chair, or you can say that the cat sat on my chair. You can choose the word dog, you can choose the word cat. Those are the paradigms. You can choose the word, the hamster sat on my chair, or you can say the dog sat on my bed. So these words, they don't exist together in the sentence, but rather there's a choice that you can make. You can choose that word, you can choose this word, and you can fit it into that particular spot in the sentence. So that's the paradigmatic relationship, as opposed to syntagmatic relationship, which I'll explain now because he's going to bring it. So that's at the semiotic level. At the semantic level, the sign is known through interpretation. Because again, you have to make a derasha. Every time you read a sentence, you're actually making a derasha on the words in the sentence and combining them together, which is what is the essence of derasha, not to combine words together and achieve a new meaning. And its sense, the sense of the sentence, is established through syntagmatic opposition to the other signs in the sentence. So when you talk about syntagmatic opposition, you mean in the sentence all existing at the same time, there is a syntagmatic opposition. The best example is Ferdinand de Saussure brings an example of a train station. So the example he brings is there's a train station in Geneva. And in the train station in Geneva, there is a train that leaves to Paris. And the train that leaves to Paris at 8:15. Or it's 8:25. I forgot which one he brings. So the 8:25 train from Geneva to Paris. So as Ferdinand de Saussure says, that train is the same train each day. It's referred to as the 8:25 Geneva to Paris Express, right? And it might not be the exact same train. Sometimes the locomotive can change. Perhaps the engine is changing. Perhaps the train conductor is changing. It's not always the same passengers in the train. But what remains in the train is the form, right? So it wasn't Ferdinand de Saussure, but somebody else said, I once wanted to take let's again refer to the 8:25 train from Geneva to Paris, and I couldn't find it, and the conductor pointed to the bus. They were doing track work on the trains. So the bus is now the 825 train from Geneva to Paris. So here you see the idea of paradigmatic relationship. The form and the structure of the train is the same, and you refer to it as the 825 Geneva to Paris Express. But the actual substance can change. The people, the passengers, maybe the 825 train can sometimes be 820, maybe got there a little early, maybe it can be 8:30, maybe got there a little late, right? So it's never quite, the substance is never quite the same. So that's the idea of paradigmatic relationship, right?
Well, would this be like, would this be the ideality is the same, but the
No,
articulation is different?
don't get into golden doves and silver dots. Forget about that for now. Not because it's
Oh,
not.
that's not where he's getting to? That's not what he's trying to point
No,
out?
I'm going to explain what paradigmatic relationships are. So the syntagmatic relationships are the actual people in the actual train cars with the actual train conductor that forms a line. That's a line, and it's a beautiful mashal because it goes forward in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a sentence, so that sentence exists, right? But the paradigmatic part is the fact that you can always be changing things around. It may be a different conductor, it may be a different engine, it may be a different locomotive, it may be different passengers, right? So you see the difference in paradigmatic, which is how things are always interchanging in sentences, and syntagmatic, where the sentence exists as one linear progression in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great mashal. I really think it's one of the great mashalim of Ferdinand de Saussure. Okay, and we're going to learn more about this, I believe, as we continue in the book. So let's read that last sentence again. I'm going back to page 1 at the bottom of the page. Thus, whereas at the semiotic level, at the peshat level, a sign is known conventionally because the peshat of any word it means the meaning shenit pashat. The peshat of the word peshat is the meaning shenit pashat, and its precise value determined through paradigmatic relation to an ideal model. Because as we said, the ideal model, let's call it the 825 express train from Geneva to Paris, right? That's the ideal model. At the semantic level, the sign is known through interpretation. Wow, interesting. You had that conductor when those passengers were there, and it happens to be that conductor knows those passengers. Hashkaha piratit, make a derasha on it, or they struck a business deal. Somebody met the conductor and he says, "I can give you a better job on a different train," right? Hashkaha piratit. So why did that conductor meet that passenger? That's syntagmatic relationship. That's derasha. So derasha is based upon putting things together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And its sense is established with syntagmatic opposition to the other sides of the sentence.
What does it mean by sense?
Meaning. The meaning of one word is in relation to the other words. So looking at the mashal of the train, why was that conductor there when that passenger was there on the same train? Oh, because they ended up meeting and the passenger told the conductor, "I have a much better job for you. You can now be an airline pilot," for example, right?
Mm-hmm. Can I read?
Yes.
The uniqueness of language stems from the fact that it alone comprises the semantic and the semiotic, using the same sign, the word, to accomplish both of these systems.
Okay. Now, what makes language unique? Because, for example, in mathematics, you have semiotic, right? So in mathematics, every number has a precise meaning and it doesn't switch. It's the number. But then in algebra, you put numbers together and then they, well, actually, I don't know if that's true what I was about to say. Scratch that for now. Scratch that for now. But certainly in language, you have both the semantic level and the semiotic level in every single sentence. Every sentence, you can analyze it both semantically and semiotically.
Mm-hmm. It will be seen that the two levels of language known among Arabic-speaking Jews as sharah, meaning, and ma'na, significance, correspond respectively to semiotics and semantics.
Right, that's fascinating. That's really fascinating. Wow.
Philo also recognized two aspects in language. Concerning human speech, logos, Philo declared that it has
Right. So in the case of mathematics, I believe in mathematics, you only have the semiotic level, meaning every word has a precise, every number has a precise meaning, right? It's
okay.
true that if you do 3 times 5, you get 15, but 3 is always a 3 and 5 is always a 5. So also in algebra, if you do x squared, whatever x is, whatever, 10, 10 is always a 10, but 10 times 10 equals 100. But 10 doesn't change itself.
You don't have the concept of syntagmatic opposition in mathematics, seemingly.
Right,
It seems it's a semiotic system and not a semantic system. That's
right.
what
So,
it seems.
right. So for example, in English, you can have Catwoman. A Catwoman
Right.
is not a cat, right? But it's a woman who has a character, like in Batman, I'm saying. I think in Batman, they have Catwoman, if I'm not mistaken. Mechila, if I'm not,
Well,
Baki in Hilchot, or the Sugya of Batman, or Masechet Batman. But the point is, a Catwoman, I believe that's what it is, or Batwoman, or Batman. How about Batman, actually? Come to think of it, boy, Catwoman, Batman. Batman is not really a bat, although he has those things that he flies on, right? So here you see how there's subtle, it's very fluid, right? The fluidity of these signs, right?
well, if I may just so mathematics, I once read an article about it. I don't remember where and when. Speaking about the language of math, of the numbers, how the numbers function a lot like language, for the sake of signifying things. Like the numbers signify, especially when we're looking at math, the language of math used in fields like physics and chemistry, physics especially, chemistry, it does signify certain things. And I'm wondering if it also functions, it may also function at the semantic level for some equations, some physical equations. There may be some sort of semantics there. I'm not 100% sure, but it would seem, since mathematics does have it is used in function of trying to signify real things out in the real physical realities, and probably in a physical world of especially quantum mechanics, the mathematics behind that have semantic qualities to them. I definitely believe so. I have no way to substantiate that right now, but there's definitely an element of semantics also in mathematics, especially in
Well,
quantum.
okay, let's look at a sentence. 3 plus 5 equals 8. That's simple.
Right.
Now 3, you could have said 4 plus 5, then it would be equals 9, or 4 plus 17, or 4 minus 17. So you have that paradigmatic thing. The paradigm is numbers in this case, I guess. But the point being that I think every number retains its precise value. Now it's true that, 1 second. I see. Okay. So I have my next call coming up. So let's, if you want to maybe study later today, I'm game, because we didn't really study for so long now. But for now, I have my next call, so we'll talk later. Okay.
All the best.
All right. Take care.